Coming up, WWE released Samoa Joe. Again. This is honestly getting ridiculous at this point. An update on Rey Fenix's grisly injury from AEW Dynamite, and WWE are reportedly returning to Saudi Arabia next month. So subscribe to the channel and let us keep you in the loop of all the happenings in the wrestling world. We would greatly appreciate it.
Support WrestleTalk!
I mean, say one thing about WWE, they do make finding the lead topic for a news video easy peasy. Say another thing, what the are they playing at? What are they doing, lads? 2021 was kind of a year tarnished by mass releases from the company as new WWE president Nick Khan streamlines and reshapes the company, either, as many have speculated, in preparation to sell it, or seemingly just so they have no choice but to book Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for all of eternity. So far, this year hasn't been much better, with multiple members of Performance Center staff and NXT coaches let go this week. Now last year, one of the shock names given the old heave-ho was Samoa Joe, who after months on the sidelines working on the commentary desk was just preparing for a return to action when he was released. Joe was then rehired to NXT, he became the champion there after besting Karrion Kross. He then relinquished the belt due to injury, and now Joe has been released again for the second time in 9 months. Samoa Joe. The news came in as rumblings about Joe surfaced on social media, with Fightful posting to say that they had confirmed with WWE that Samoa Joe had been released. Then in an update on Fightful Select, they revealed that they had heard that Joe was actually released on Wednesday, with the rest of the cuts and talent at the Performance Center heard the news then, with news reaching some outside of WWE way before it broke last night. That would mean the WWE statement from the other day stands for Joe as well, where they claim that the releases were there to continue the evolution of NXT 2.0. Though according to reports, there is a general feeling backstage that Joe was actually released as part of a further dismantling of Triple H's NXT vision, which was the one that dominated the brand from 2013 to 2021 with the advent of NXT 2.0. Now, Joe had been working backstage on NXT since relinquishing the title due to his undisclosed injury, and was said to have settled into that role, with many reports stating that WWE had no in-ring plans for him projected for the future. This kind of chimes with similar sentiments raised by the releases of Timothy Thatcher, Danny Burch and Hachiman, who were released despite WWE saying that no talent would be included in this round of cuts. So Joe, like those guys, was being viewed as backstage personnel and no longer an active performer. In what must have been a very tempting Control-C, Control-V moment for Joe, he took to Twitter to pen a new, second in 9 months response to his new WWE release, writing, "Extremely fortunate and grateful to all the young and amazing talent I had the pleasure of working with in the past months. Only saddened at the loss of an excuse to see their continued growth and achievement. I am very excited for their future and mine." Cheeky little upside down smiley face. Now, many read said smiley to mean that Joe plans to return to action, and Fightful Select reported that all of the sources spoken to at the Performance Center regarding Samoa Joe believe that he will return to the ring outside of WWE. Before we crack on, we need to thank the Mayor of Painesville, Dan, and Double L, Liam Leonard, for their support on Patreon. Now, not content with releasing Samoa Joe, Timothy Thatcher, Hachiman, Danny Burch, William Regal, Road Dogg, and more, WWE snuck another name in there. As a tweet from Gabe Sapolsky, who worked as an NXT creative and sometimes producer, suggested that he too had left the company, saying, "Looks like the end of the road. Thank you everyone, love you all." PW Insider later confirmed that Sapolsky was indeed gone from WWE. A bleak start to the year. As with all WWE releases though, talk eventually turns to who will end up in AEW, and many will no doubt have earmarked the likes of Samoa Joe and Timothy Thatcher for coming in and stretching some people out. But the more enterprising souls out there need to make their own cases, which is exactly what Hall of Famer Road Dogg Brian James did while teasing a reunion with New Age Outlaws tag partner, a William Arse. Road Dogg was asked if he would ever consider going to AEW and joining Billy Gunn as a backstage producer. James's cheeky response was, "This light bill ain't gonna pay itself." Also, the man just lost his job and you shouldn't really laugh, but in a fun moment of, oh, he didn't know, James changed his Twitter handle after the breakup with WWE and lost his verified status on the platform. So fix that, Twitter. It's not been a good day for Road Dogg. Now, someone likely chuffed to bits to be making the full-time move to NXT 2.0 during this whole mess is Walter, who quite famously didn't want to live in the US. Now, as Walter is reportedly set to join the main NXT brand full-time, it was announced that his final match for NXT UK will be held against Nathan Frazier and dubbed Walter's Last Stand. Storyline advisor, Walter requested a final match, and Johnny Saint booked this as Frazier is there to represent the next generation of NXT UK star. Now, where have I heard something like that before? Maybe Frazier's going to kick through a giant polystyrene version of Walter's head. This is exciting though, because Walter's last proper NXT UK match was when he dropped the title to Ilya Dragunov at TakeOver 36, and it was mint. He was most recently seen at New Year's Evil teaming with Imperium against Riddle and MSK, but that was for the main NXT 2.0 brand, where he's got to go now. I ain't got no stuff. Hop in the vents very quickly to provide an update on Rey Fenix, who suffered a particularly nasty looking injury during a table spot on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. It was the kind of thing that makes your stomach turn over and all of your bones creak in sympathy, and led many to speculate from the dramatic footage that Fenix had broken his arm. Now, after the match, he was rushed to hospital, but less than 24 hours after the injury, he took to Twitter to post an update, and somehow it is nowhere near as bad as it looked. Posting in both Spanish and English, the former tag team champion wrote, "Today I can tell you that I feel better and thank God for your prayers and good vibes. There are no broken bones. I still have to visit the doctor a couple more times and do some studies to have an exact diagnosis. Thank you very much once again to all, and congratulations to the champions. Enjoy and defend those titles, because very soon I am back and those championships belong to the Lucha Brothers." So somehow, Fenix walked away without a broken bone at all, and what is reported to just be a dislocated elbow instead, which, while still painful and grisly, is nowhere near as bad. Honestly, I swear to you, the man is made of rubber. Just bounces right back. No update was provided when Fenix could be cleared to compete again, but Republic of Lucha, an account associated with the Lucha Bros, said that Fenix will indeed miss several weeks. Now, just in case you didn't think the WWE had garnered themselves enough bad press by starting the year off with Big E losing the WWE Championship to someone who wasn't even in the match until the day of the event, and all of the releases, here's some more oil for the fire. Oil, because according to Matt Men's Andrew Zarian, the company are set to return to Saudi Arabia next month. Zarian said that the company is scheduled to host their next event in the kingdom on February 19th, but there's no word yet on what the event will actually be called. The E's last Saudi event, Crown Jewel, took place in October and saw the finals of the King of the Ring tournament and the culmination of the 20-minute long Queen's Crown tournament to boot. 2022 also brings us to year 5 of WWE's 10-year agreement with the Saudi General Sports Authority, which called for 2 events per year. Now, obviously, the pandemic put a halt to that, with only 1 event taking place in both 2020 and 2021. So I wonder if the deal's going to roll over longer, or they're going to put on more shows a year to make up for it. One name who could be in Saudi for another match with Brock Lesnar is Roman Reigns, who has now been medically cleared to return to WWE, according to a tweet issued by the company. Breaking! Roman Reigns has been medically cleared and is set to return at tomorrow's Friday Night SmackDown. What will Brock Lesnar have in store for their explosive confrontation? Now, Reigns tested positive for COVID ahead of WWE Day 1 and had to be pulled from the show and his scheduled match with Brock Lesnar, which set all the dominoes a tumbling, and now we've got Lesnar as the WWE champion and some sort of Brocky 2-belt situation going on, if this tweet is anything to go by. But it seems as though the two will pick up where they left off in December, with the added twists that now Heyman is in Brock's corner and Lesnar obviously has the WWE Championship. It is the Omni feud. Everything will be absorbed. Now, Reigns' return to TV, being announced less than a week after testing positive, is possible due to WWE's new COVID policies, which means that as Reigns is vaccinated 5 days after his positive test, if he has a 24-hour period with no symptoms, he can return after passing 2 antigen tests that are taken 24 hours apart. It's good to hear that Roman is doing well and has recovered. He could have been in a very high-risk category after having just recovered from leukemia. And it's going to be interesting, I guess, to see where they go with this story now that it has absorbed all of the important stuff from Raw as well now. It is the only feud in WWE, so please make it good. You haven't got anything else. I'm going with it, okay? It's my way.
Like when I once said to Ollie, oh man, I'm quite looking forward to when they release the Green Lantern Corps movie rather than Green Lantern Corps.
The Corpse movie!
And he said, he goes, do you mean Green Lantern Corps? I was like, I've never said that word out loud.
That's it, there's so many words that we just read and don't say out loud. There's a game called Coup.
Yes.
My friend calls it Coop.
Yeah.
That's not correct.
No, I used to do that as well.